Hi everyone, welcome back to Snow Fog Outdoors. Stay tuned to see if I can survive lost and alone in this spare bedroom, surrounded by wild animals. Stick with me, be right back. Okay, so obviously this video was going to be shot outdoors, but with all the crazy weather and high winds and being allergic to lightning, I didn't think it was such a good idea. So I took myself back to a time when I was a child and would throw blankets over the furniture in the living room and create a little camp. This little camp, however, is set up in my spare bedroom with my 3 dogs and Henry the cat. But this is really a serious video. I want to discuss survival kits in this video. If you recall part 1 of my wilderness survival series, I discussed how not to survive in the wilderness. If you haven't seen that video, please go see it. I'll put a link to it below with just my ideas, some of the things I've learned. And I will say it again, I'm not a survival expert. This is just stuff that to me is common sense, kind of my opinion. And Henry, don't rub on the tripod, darling. Get him over here. There's always an animal in the video somehow. And it's just my whole take on the survival kits and survival in general. So let's get into kits in this video. There might be another part to this series, but in the end, the last video to this series, I will do a summary of all the videos I've done, because I do have some stuff I want to add to it, but I don't want to put it, in this video. I just don't want to do it for time reasons. So we'll do a review at the end of the series and kind of, put it all together so it makes a little bit more sense. So, survival kits. What is survival? Basically, it's staying alive is what survival is. Whether it be due to an accident, being lost, an act of Mother Nature, like the wildfires in Canada right now. Those people are surviving. They're trying to get out of there and, save themselves. So, survival kits. Now, I am intrigued by survival kits. Whenever I see a video regarding a survival kit, regardless of what it is, urban, wilderness, anything, I will click on it and watch it. And I'm so intrigued by it because I like to see what people put in their kits and why they put that in their kits. I see more preppers building kits. Now, I've built a ton of survival kits myself, from the little Altoids tins, up to the kit that this whole series is about. And I'm just so intrigued. I know I just said that, but it amazes me what people put in these kits and why. And I honestly, I've seen some really great ideas. I've seen some ones I didn't understand. But again, it's just my opinion. There has got to be millions, if not billions of dollars made by companies that make and promote survival kits. I mean, come on. You've seen them for sale. I know I've seen them for sale. Some of the bigger channels, they get these kits and, they review them and you're like, wow, that's really cool. I wish I had that kind of stuff in my kit. But is it gimmicky? Is it something that's going to help you if you should run into a situation where you're going to be left to your own devices, for a few days or a few hours? So let's just say, for example, John Smith. He's a young guy, he's got a good job, and he decides to take up the sport of backpacking. So he goes on YouTube and he watches a few videos and he's like, oh, this guy here has got this survival kit that says, I can survive anything with this survival kit. It's got everything in there I need. And I'm going to go backpacking this weekend. So I think I'll get that and throw it in my pack. So he spends maybe $250 on this really cool tactical looking kit. And he gets it in the mail and he throws it in his bag and he goes backpacking. And he never took a map reading course or oriented himself with a compass. And he got lost. But he's not nervous, he's not scared because he has his survival kit in his bag. So he takes it out of his backpack and he cuts the little, plastic tie on there because he never looked in it when he got it. Why would he? Everything's there that he needs. And he opens it up and he's going, what is this? And how do you use that? And he has no idea. So that's where the whole survival kit for me can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. I basically have 3 rules for making a survival kit. First rule being, know your skills. If you're going to put tools in that kit or items, know how to use them. Know your skill level and the things you need to know about the items and what you're going to put in your kit. Second of all, your geographical location where you're going to be. Someone in the desert's not going to have the same kit that someone in Alaska has, obviously. So put items geographically specific for you in your kit. If you're in the desert, you're not going to need a fishing kit, more than likely. So make sure that your kit is designed for you in your area. Third of all, personalize that kit. Make that kit for you. Let's say, for example, you have a phobia or something. Let's say you're afraid of the dark. Make sure you have headlamps in there, flashlights, batteries. Okay, let's say you have a medical condition and you need certain medications, like an asthmatic needs their inhalers. Put an extra inhaler in there. A diabetic may need an insulin pen or oral medication. Know yourself and your needs to put in that kit. Those are the only 3 rules that I go by. Some may think differently, but I'm a bushcrafter. I do a little prepping, my home and my family is prepared for, weather disasters, whatever may come. But I think bushcrafters will more or less live out of a possibles pouch. I don't see many bushcrafters with survival kits. I see a lot of preppers, I see a lot of backpackers, maybe some campers. The little Altoids tin you stick in your pocket just in case you need something. But as a bushcrafter, no matter where I go, the only thing that will change up is how long I'm gone. Excuse me, if I'm going out for a day hike or to do a video or to cook a meal, I have a pack with me. And yes, I do go by the rule, 2 is 1, 1 is none. So I have extras, backups for fire, shelter, water. I have a knife, I have my cordage. I always go out with the 5 C's. And I have a possibles pouch. And in there maybe my headlamp, some extra batteries, some of the creature comforts that I like. So I don't really know if it's a survival kit. Because normally if you go out and something happens, you get hurt, you get turned around, the weather, nails you to a certain spot, rescue usually happens, either self-rescue or a search and rescue will happen within 72 hours. It's very rare that, unless it's really bad weather or a natural disaster has happened, that you'll end up staying out more than 72 hours. So just plan for that. Do I carry a survival kit? Or if you knock over my tripod with that big butt of yours. No. But I did build this kit. And when I show you this kit, I'm going to tell you why I built it. And chances are I'll never carry it in the field with me, or in the bush, or in the woods, or in the wilderness. If I keep it together, it may just go in a vehicle. You know, I don't typically carry survival kits because everything that is in my pack is all I need. As long as I have basically the 5 C's and some backup and of gear and my own comfort items, I'm good. I can go a week, 2 weeks, you know, as long as I have a water source and, you know, some type of food source, which will always be in my bag as well when I go out. I always put like a food bag in there. So, but I do want to show you this. When I got into YouTube and all of these great channels, I was just involved in survival kits. This is my very first survival kit that I built with just the stuff I had. I hadn't really purchased any gear. I didn't buy gear specifically for a survival kit. So I made this probably within the first 6 months to a year after getting involved in YouTube videos, watching them, and, you know, bushcraft and survival, you know, all those great videos. And I haven't been in it in a very, very, very long time. So even I'm curious to see what I put in there when I was just beginning as to where I am now. So don't judge me and don't laugh, because I'm going to show you my very first survival kit. It's in like not really even a canteen pouch. It's probably like an ammo pouch of some sort, but it can molly right onto my belt. So let me get the camera up to the workbench and we'll go through this bad boy. Stay tuned. Okay, so my very first ever, homemade survival kit. This is a 100 round ammo pouch, by the way. I'm sorry about the noise in the background. Ori has this huge rawhide that if I take it away, he just starts to cry. So, very first built survival kit. Now, I'm going to be probably just as surprised as you to find out what's in here. So let's see. I'd say it weighs about maybe 3 pounds. Let's take this out first. Put this aside. This is one of those Plano watertight boxes. I'm probably going to find things I've been looking for forever. Fixed blade knife. This is an old timer. I believe it's the Pro Hunter Mini. This knife, I gotta tell you, is sharp. I think the blade's about 3 inches. Yeah, this is the PH2W. Came with a leather sheath. And I have basically turned it into a neck knife. I'm having trouble getting that in there. Hang on just a second. Because what happened was, I think when Teddy was a puppy, he got a hold of this and chewed it all to heck, and I had to glue it and redo it. But I do have some paracord on there. I also have quite a large piece of inner tube that runs from here to here, and some jute twine. So that is in there. Always good to have an extra fixed blade knife. All right. An emergency water bag. Let me back this tripod up just a little bit for you guys so you can actually see better. Just in case, quick lock. I believe this came out of one of those car emergency kits that the Red Cross used to put together. That's what I believe. This holds it doesn't even say, but that's the fill line. It looks like maybe a gallon. All right, so water container. Oh, just let me say that when I made the survival kit, I was living in New York. So I have a couple hot hand warmers. I have one 55-gallon drum liner. Space blanket. And a bandana, cotton bandana. And that is it. That is in the pouch. Now, to the kit itself. I'm scared to open this on the camera. I don't know what's in here. SOS. This also came out of the car emergency kit. We had a couple of them, and we were given a couple. This would be a vacuum sealed bag with salt and sugar to rehydrate and get energy. It's a little boo-boo kit. I got some butterflies, some moleskin, a couple band-aids, and steri strips. This is another sealed pouch, but it looks like I have some small cloth patches. It looks like dental floss, pins, and paper clips. And this is a fishing kit, also in a sealed container. I have quite a bit of fishing stuff in there. Wow. I'm not going to open them because they are sealed. Oh, that's the fishing kit. Aluminum foil. Wax paper. Wax paper is very handy in making fire. Sheets of note paper. Piece of, I don't know what grit this is. I think it's 80 grit sandpaper. Water purification tablets. A wet fire. Now mind you, I put this all together before I knew really the whole survival aspect and what goes in a kit. This is just stuff I had around my house that went in here. Some jute twine. Little bit of, I think this is gardening wire. Micro star flash. These look like, they don't look like UCO matches. They look like another type of stormproof, waterproof match. A whistle. A piece of latex glove with Tinder Quicks in there. That's weird. Wonder why I did it that way. P51 can opener. Some more, looks like copper wire or brass wire. Looks like copper wire. Button compass. These are the ones that go on paracord bracelets. A sharpening rod. Yep, sharpening rod. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the kit and not at the camera. So I have a sharpening rod in there. A Sheffield small multi-tool. Oh, that's right. This one has a lock on it. There we go. Just knife. There is a pair of scissors, I believe, on this one. Yes, a pair of scissors, knife, and your usual screwdriver type bits on there. A little light. Not very bright, but nonetheless, there's a light. This looks like Vaseline and cotton and a straw. Oh, these are those absorbent packs, so nothing in here rusts or gets ishy. Another little light. What is this? Oh, I know what this is. It's one of those little finger lights for kids, but it's red. And I think it's pretty cool. That's why I put it in there. Another little light. One of the modded out Bics. Sparky. Yes, I did that myself. I believe this is a Gerber Paraframe. Yep, Gerber Paraframe. Small knife. UST ferro rod. I'm not left-handed. What am I doing? Yep. A small, looks like a coffee stirring straw. Maybe I put that in there as a bellows or something. Some twist ties and a high carbon steel piece of hacksaw. Little baby pencil to go with the writing paper. This looks like a chapstick container with duct tape on the outside and more duct tape on the inside. Yep, it's spooled around the inner part of the chapstick container. That's pretty cool. Wow, I impressed myself. Another chapstick container with chapstick. No, I'm sorry, it's not. It's a glue stick. Ah, that's pretty smart back then. Looks like some more cotton and the straw, and I believe this is triple antibiotic ointment, and this is just dry cotton. Number 36 bank line, probably 25 feet, wrapped with some that sisal rope. One of those hand saws. They can be used for a bale. You try to cut with it, you're probably not going to get far unless it's a very small branch. Some zip ties, a nail, a razor blade. This is an oven cooking bag to collect wild edibles, more water, whatever you need. And this is the little tie that goes with the cooking bag. A coffee filter for straining water. And a Fresnel lens. And that does it for my homemade very first survival kit. Without all the gimmicky, gadgety survival tools. I impressed myself. So there you have it, folks. The next video, I will be going over the big, excuse me, the Big Wilderness Survival Kit. So I'll do that in a separate video because this one's pretty long. So stay tuned and we'll get into the newest and the biggest survival kit next. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.